Hey, it's Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. Today's the 20th of July 2017, and I'm just taking a quick break. It's right just before lunchtime. Our job today, my job anyway, was to load up some cattle and take them off to the butcher shop, and so it's kind of about a half-day project because you gotta get the trailer hooked up, get the cattle loaded up, which a lot of times they don't really want to go in a trailer, and then you got to make sure all your lights work and all that stuff, and then go down the road hour and 15 minutes and then an hour and 15 minutes back. And of course I always have to stop and talk with people at the butcher shop. I ran into a guy there who's having a similar problem with the Michigan Department of Agriculture. He makes his living farming, and he sells his produce at farmers markets, and they came to the farmers market, MDA, and I will reveal this woman's name at some point. I think she's my inspector now, with state police, and they issued a cease and desist, and it was because he didn't have a license to keep his produce in a freezer at his house. They call it a warehousing license. Okay? He didn't have that. And he said, no, I don't think I need that, and I'm not going to do it. That was his prerogative. Maybe he was right, maybe he was wrong, I don't know. But anyway, and then the stories start going around, about MDA and what they're doing. So I'm titling this, Know Your Enemy. And I know that's going to stir up a lot of things, because they're going to say, we're not your enemy, we're here to help you, right? What did Ronald Reagan say about when the government says they're here to help you? You know what? We don't need your help. We don't need your help. You need to just get the hell out of the way is what you need to do. And I think at this point, it'd be a pretty good idea if you did. I got a lot of input. And after having gone through this last time, I think I'm going to walk you all through this step by step. I don't know what the outcome is going to be here, but I think that, as a friend of mine down in the Detroit metro area has said, nothing that we say goes out void. It all contributes, right? If I convey to you a spirit of fear, that I'm afraid of the MDA and Big Jim Patty, if I'm afraid of what he's going to do to me, then that takes hold in you. If I come across as, completely fearless, then you feel the same way. And that's really where you need to be, because what we're embarking on here is a system where we are free men. We live freely. We make decisions for ourselves. And the people that are our servants, our public servants, are there to serve us. But it's kind of gotten changed around, or it's in the transition, where they are telling us what time to go to bed, and they're telling us we can't have another bowl of ice cream. And that's completely wrong. And we have to move that back, and we need to put them in the place that they belong. In the place that they belong, and they are public servants. They're not our masters, all right? And this is going to take education. And okay, so know your enemy. Know your enemy. Enemy, strong word, Mark. Well, this is how it impacts me. I raise chickens for a living, and then we butcher them in our very own butcher shop that we've applied for a license through MDA, and for 15 years they've given it to us. They just want our money. They don't come and do anything. They don't come and help us with anything. They never come and inspect. They don't do anything, really. They just take our money. And that enables us to get our products in stores so we can sell them, because we need this money so we can pay our electric bill, and we can pay our insurances and buy fuel and just keep our lives going, right? That's what we do. So now I've got all this product that I am now unlicensed. If this product goes into stores, Jim Patton's little minions will be on it like flies on a rib roast, and they'll destroy the relationship that I have with that store, which they have done. Since 2012, they have systematically destroyed every relationship that I had that I was selling to, and I'm trying to rebuild it. You know, I'm not really making $1 million here. I'm just trying to raise my kids. I'm a retired GI. I'm just trying to get by. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. But damn it all, people, if you infringe on the rights of American citizens, that's when I step up. Because whether you took your oath of office seriously or not, I did. And there's a lot of people like me that did. And I happen to know there's people within these organizations right now that have come to me very quickly and said, we do not hold with this. And so I've encouraged them, then don't support this guy within the organization. Don't support this tyranny that's going on. Do something. You're there. What are they going to do to you? Well, the way it works in those organizations, the people are quite fearful, and you know, they're trying to feed their families too. And so it's difficult, and it's going to be a process. They're not the ones that have to change things. It's you. It's you and me. It's the masters that have to be calling the servants and saying, you need to get in line. You need to get back in your place, and you need to do it now. Thomas Jefferson said, and this is so true when you think this through, when the government, or when the people fear their government, you have tyranny. Right? When the government fears the people, you have liberty. And, you know, where does fear come from? In anyone's heart, where does that come from? So that's why I want to call this Know Your Enemy, because you have to know what they fear. And this is going to lead me right to where I always really want to go, is to the Bill of Rights of the U.S. Constitution. I'm going to ask you to get that and read that. What my enemy here is going to do, what they did last time, they're going to try and discredit me, right? In the process, they're going to make you all feel like, well, if I believe in what Mark says, then I must be a nut job. That's one of their favorite things to say is, you're a nut job. Well, that comes from speaking. First Amendment. It comes from speaking. You speak your mind. First Amendment says you can call this idiot on the phone and say, you get in your place, son. You get where you belong. Or you can call his boss and say, you better get this guy under control. Or you can call our advocate at the state level, the Attorney General's office, and say, are you watching this? Are you going to do anything? Or are you going to let this happen again? Because I guarantee you folks, this is happening across this state. These organizations, I can think of 2 or 3 of them right now, are completely out of control. Completely out of control. MDA is one of them. They're really out of control right now. Here, we have paid for this license. They cashed our check, and now they're refusing to send us our license. And they're saying it's because we refused an inspection back in 2015. This is 2017, July. That supposed inspection was not. It was a search warrant that was brought here with state police and agents from MDA, and I did not impede that. If I had impeded that, I would have been arrested. You can't do that if they have a legitimate search warrant, and I don't think it was legitimate, but you know, it's not really up to me. The judge had signed it, and they could initiate it, but they chose not to. They chose not to, and I merely said that you have to wait a couple minutes until some of my friends come here, because they had a whole cadre of their agents down in McBain, all these black sedans, and they were going to tear through everything in my home, my house, my computers, and my vehicles. A bunch of people I don't know going through my stuff. That's how important the Fourth Amendment is. It is so important. Without that, I mean, they can come in the middle of the night and tear through your stuff. We don't want that. We're free people because we have this Bill of Rights. Now, what does our enemy fear? They fear free speech. They fear what I'm doing right now. Why? Because you all hear it. And then you know about it. You know about it. These people that do this can't really go anywhere anymore without thinking, I wonder if he recognizes me. Right? I wonder if these people around me know what I did. Right? Maybe so. What's the next thing that they fear the most? I'll tell you that when I come back.